Alright, here in Gunther's garage, we have the Wifey's 99 Golf. It's actually supposed to be a Golf Mark IV 99 where they switched to Mark IV, but it's actually a Mark III, or they call it a Mark 3.5. Reason why is all the Mark IV, when they switched to Mark IV, the GTI models and stuff were all made in Germany, and they did all the trim changes and engine changes they did in the Mark IV on all the GTI models, and then the ones that were made in Mexico stayed Mark III body parts, maybe some Mark IV stuff, but this got the 2-liter 8-valve ABA Obd2 engine. Very, very reliable engine. Has a name 2-point slow, but believe it or not, if you boost this engine or do some upgrades like I've done on my Cabrio's engine, which runs an ABA, you can get some pretty good power, like 130, maybe 140 horse naturally aspirated, with maybe a cam and exhaust and a tip. So yeah, fun little cars. This one's gonna get a wrap, so stay tuned for that. We got a pearl white wrap going on there, pearl white metallic wrap with a satin finish. It's gonna be my first time ever wrapping a car, so I don't know if you want to see someone struggle and learn at the same time how to wrap a car completely. I've done large decals or decals and I've done large stickers on side of commercial vehicles, but I never did a whole car yet. But I've watched a lot of videos for the past 10 years because I've been a fan of wrapping. So today we're going to take this ABA and put it on some ramps, and I'm going to get under it and got to do a thermostat. So I noticed as the winter months started getting closer, the temperature took a long time to heat up. Even though we were getting heat out of the car, the temperature gauge took a long time to hit to warm up an optimal temperature. And I also get coolant level light coming on the dash, even though I bought a new reservoir with included the new sensor in it, and the wiring and everything is good, and it's intermittent, but once it comes on, it stays on while you're driving. So some of the research I looked in the forums, it says that if you have a bad thermostat, that might give you that fault on the Obd2 system, and so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna change out the thermostat, and you're coming along for this one. Yeah, if you're setting up ramps, best way to do it is look at the side of the vehicle, the line of the vehicle, and then look at your ramp and make sure it's in line with the vehicle, and jam it right on the edge of the vehicle so you can jam the other one evenly. So when you go up evenly. Safety first, mofos. Yeah, so you stand back and you look at the line of the vehicle and make sure your ramp is matching the vehicle. You have no problems when you roll up. Yeah. right there. Put your pan underneath. First thing you want to do is get it draining so it don't get soaking wet when you take out the housing and all of that. There's nothing to not doing. Huh? So you just move it away from the housing and then let it loose on it. So you'll get it ready. Tight. Loosen it up. Put my spectacles on. Can't see shizzes. You gotta do this slowly because she's gonna come gushing out. I left the reservoir cap on just to push it so they come gushing out just as fast. Too fast. It's gonna come out like this. To get it close, then there's nothing. Goes. Now I'll take off the reservoir cap. She's a toy. Look like a tiger. To get the belt off. I'm going to get the whole assembly so we can get a thermostat housing. Believe it or not, I better get a 16, because that's bullshit. Couldn't find my 16 mils, so I got a 5/8. I say, same size, pretty well. 16 except for which one? Old guys would call that a bastard size. 16 mil, 18 mil, 9 mil, all bastard sizes. Three. Oh, bingo. Bolt. Jazz. Pump housing. Bracket bolts. I should be able to Cabriolet ABA doesn't have this bracking because I got rid of the serpentine system and I went with a V-groove belt. So it doesn't have the same bracket. I removed it all. Make it easier for work. There goes. Take the other bolt too. on it. And the bracket, watch your head. There we go. There we go. Look at that. That's it. Here we go. Here comes the thermostat housing out. Get your catch pan underneath it, because she's going to be a gusher in most situations, sometimes not. I think this thermostat was stuck open, so it might not be a gusher, but we're going to get the pan underneath in case. Take your time, just with it, and here we go. One bolt at a time. I'll get the tighter one out first. Okay. 10 millis. There we go, this one. Two. Here you go. Still stuck up there. Typical. I emptied the coolant out of my container before that. All right, here we go. Let's see if we have any drippy do. Oh, oh. Yeah, it's just, oh, there's the thermostat. Okay. Let's get her out of here. Sweet. Rusty old screwdriver. I don't care about hurting it because I've got a new one. See, it must have been stuck open because not much juice in there. That's the problem. It doesn't open up anymore all the way or whatever. And, well, it's open up all the way. And it's just letting the coolant go through. Yeah. Look like it's closing, but you never know with these things, man. They're changing it. You could boil it and test it to see if the spring opens it up, to see if it's any good, just for troubleshooting, but it's a cheap part, just a little bit of labor. It'll be about. Oh, a little weeping hole in this thing. Sometimes people drill a little hole there. It's for good measure. Old and new. Push it in. Bracketry. Finger tight. Finger tight. Now go hard. Go hard. Go hard. I don't know, 35, 45 foot-pounds for guesstimation. Let's go in the pump. Get her done. Okay. And the power steering pump. Nice. That's it. Finger tight. Get this guy in here. Okay, well, up in there, that's nice. 1/4 inch push on the belt. Not too tight, not too loose. So I'm going to start, I like that tension there. So then I'm going to start by tightening the tension of both so she won't move. Get a good one. Then I'm going to tighten up these bracket bolts so everything's square. What's going on with my wrench? And this one. And this one. Oh, too loose. And loosen it up again. Because now the bracket moved. So let's loosen it up again. We got a screwdriver this time. Let's give it a... Yeah. Try that. Makes noise and we'll fix it. One, two, and then deep one. $60 mil at 5/8. Tight, tight, tight. Tight, tight, tight. Tight, tight, tight. Tight. It's gold. Let's see if I see anything. I don't like just oil leaking. Dented pans. Do a quick inspection. Everything's looking nice. All the bushings look good. Control and bushings and everything. Okay. Coolant line back on. Power steering pump back on. Thermostat installed with new O-ring gasket, housing, and hose. Now it's time to fill it up. I'm going to put the coolant, same coolant I took out, back in because it's newer, and reuse it. These Volkswagens, these particular 2 liters, aren't too fussy about bleeding the coolant back in the system. She'll just take it, you run it until the thermostat warms up, and then it opens up and it'll suck all the coolant out of the system in the reservoir. You top it up until she overflows and tighten it. By the time she's done sucking and all the air is bubbling out, you want to end up with that much amount of coolant to the max line. You can take off different lines, especially up high, to boil the air out, but I'll just usually keep squeezing the hoses and keep trying to get the bubbles out of the system, and you'll see when the thermostat opens, it'll suck out all the coolant, fill it up, and then it should be good. And keep checking it and warm it up, and then go from there. Some cars, they need a machine or a tool that uses vacuum. You need an air compressor, and it sucks out everything and then it spits it back in, but it's not necessary with these. Looks like we have also a bleed there on the top. Might try that if I have any issues, but that's where the sensor goes. Alright? Good to know how much you took out, and you just put the same amount back in, and then you know you got it all back in and all the air's out of it. Sometimes you just need a little common sense. Keep pouring it in, keep going in, keep taking it. Keep squeezing the main hose on the top of the rad, and it just keeps, all the air keeps coming out, and the coolant keeps replacing it, and all the way from the reservoir, because the reservoir is the highest point of the system. Hearing some satisfying glugs coming from the bottom. So this is where you get as pretty well as much as you can in there. Check for leaks. Not a drip. Just keep sending the coolant because you know this is how much it needs. getting warm. Good way to check is feel the bottom hose. That's when you know the thermostat is opened up. Feel the warm coolant through the bottom hose right beside the thermostat. They got to be careful because there's automatic fans and alternator belts down here. That bottom one's still cool. Until she warms up. Yeah, all else fails if you don't know if your thermostat open up and you don't have a gauge on your car. The rad pan will come on guaranteed when your thermostat is open.